It takes less than a second. One quick strike and you've made fire in the palm of your hand. But behind this tiny flame is a surprisingly clever process, and a machine that produces them not by the hundreds, but by the millions every hour. This is how a match is made. It starts with wood, usually aspen or white pine, chosen because it's soft, light, and burns evenly. The logs are stripped of their bark and cut to length, ready to be turned into millions of identical little sticks. Each log is mounted on a lathe and spun against a long blade, peeling off a thin, continuous sheet of wood, like unrolling a giant roll of paper. This sheet, called veneer, is just a couple of millimeters thick, exactly the width of a matchstick. The veneer is then fed into a chopper that slices it into thousands of thin sticks at once. These are the splints, the bodies of the future matches, and at this stage they're still raw, damp wood. The fresh splints are tumbled and dried to remove moisture, then polished against each other to smooth away any splinters. They're sorted to throw out any that are bent or broken, leaving a flood of clean, uniform sticks. Next comes a step you'd never guess. The splints are soaked in a special solution that stops them from smouldering. Without it, a blown-out match would keep glowing and crumbling into embers. With it, the flame goes out cleanly the moment you want it to. Now the real machine takes over. Just fed into thousands of tiny holes in long steel plates is, through the rest of the price, in perfect rows, never stopping, moving in a continuous loop. First, the tip of every splint is dipped into hot molten paraffin wax. This thin coat of wax is the secret bridge. It lets the flame travel down from the head and catch the wood, instead of fizzling out. Then comes the moment that makes a match a match. The wax tips are lowered into a thick, coloured paste and lifted back out, leaving a perfect rounded head on each one. That paste holds everything the flame needs to come alive: an oxidizer to feed it, powdered glass to create friction, and a binder to hold it all together. With their heads freshly formed, the matches travel on a long, winding conveyor, sometimes hundreds of meters of it, slowly drying in the air until each head is hard and ready. At the end of the line, the finished matches are pushed out of their steel plates and gathered together by the thousand. A river of identical little sticks, each one tipped and ready to strike. They're funneled into boxes in precise amounts. Machines count them out and drop them in, filling box after box at a speed the eye can barely follow. But a safety match can't light on just any surface, and that's by design. The side of the box is coated with a special striking strip containing red phosphorus and powdered glass. The match head itself is actually safe to handle. It only ignites when it's dragged across this exact surface. The friction creates a tiny burst of heat, and that's what sparks the flame. Finally, the filled boxes are closed, wrapped and bundled together, then packed for shipping. From a single log, a factory like this can turn out millions upon millions of matches in a single day. And that's everything packed into one tiny stick. Wood, wax, chemistry, and precision, all so you can make fire in an instant. So the next time you strike a match, you'll know just how much went into that one small flame. If you enjoyed this, stick around. There's a whole world of everyday things waiting to be taken apart, step by step.